All right. So let's talk about how to actually find missing data in Excel. You're already looking at a lot of data right now, and this is not as big of a data set. But first, you can actually see just by eyeing my data that you do have some missing fields. But looking at the data that you have, it will be difficult to go through every single column and row of data or information to see what cells are actually missing. So I'm just going to show you what Excel can do for you. So first, I'm just going to click on this column and type in missing data. Okay. And now, the only thing you have to do is type in the equal sign, and this is a command sign. Okay. And we're going to do a count blank function. So if you start to type in count, you can see it fills in your command. And I don't want to count across this particular row. And hit enter, and it gives me the value of 0. The reason why I have the value of 0 is because all of my fields are filled in for this particular row. But if you can follow my cursor and see the little square that I'm circling around, if I double click it, it fills in all of my rows for me with the same value or the same command, sorry. So as you can see, there's one field missing here. There's also one field missing here. And that is literally what you do to find missing data or different cells in Excel. Now, here's the key and the most important part to remember. One, this is only one way to find missing data in Excel. But when it comes to your learning, what you're going to be covering in this course, the very first thing you should do if there's missing data in Excel is you need to get with your leaders or your supervisors or those in charge, or refer to your company policy and ask them what do they actually want you to do with the missing data that you have in Excel. Some may say delete the data, and some organizations may say to put in a place marker or fill it in with a place value. Now, there are some flaws in some things you can do that will negatively affect your organization if you delete cells. First, if you delete too many cells, you're getting rid of data that you may need to help you make informed decisions when you start to run regression analysis or look for correlations in certain independent and dependent variables. And two, if you delete too many, it will make your information not as reliable. So you got to be careful if your organization would like for you to just take the data out altogether. Getting rid of those may cause you to make false interpretations of data, depending on how many values that you actually delete. However, there is another thing you can do in Excel. And if you want to add a place value or a place marker in those blank fields to help you fill it in, you can do that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this cell and I'm going to insert a new row. And I'm just going to, so you can see it, I'm going to put just place for place marker, okay? Now, what you do in this cell is you're going to make a syntax or something called an if statement. And what the if statement is going to say in Excel is if X, then Y should happen. So for example, you're going to say if it rains, then bring an umbrella. So I'm going to move this out a little bit so you can see, and we're going to put the equal sign and put if, and that begins our if statement. So if you look, it gives you some words so you can see exactly what it is that you're going to do. Okay, but let's walk it out. So I'm going to say if my E2 field, which is E, in the second row, if E2 is equal, and I'm going to say parentheses, open parentheses, and then close parentheses. So what this is telling Excel is if E2 is equal to a blank field, open parentheses, close parentheses, meaning it actually defines blank in Excel. And I'm going to put a comma to stop that command. And then I'm going to say equals 99 and close parentheses. And what that is telling Excel is if E2 is blank, then put 99 in that place. And once I do that, I have to tell it to end that command and put it in E2. Okay. And I hit enter. And as you can see, because E2 was not blank, BL or Bravo Lima transferred back over where it says place. But remember before when I told you about this square right here on this cell, if I double click, now you can see that everywhere is blank, there is a 99 in that place. And there are a couple other things you can do in Excel. You can actually highlight your field and tell it cell. You can format cells, you can hide cells, you can do a lot of different things in Excel. But ultimately, the key to remember is you know how to sort for missing data, okay? Remember, when you click on the cell right up here, count blank, and then you highlight the cells across, okay? And now you also know how to put markers in the place of those blanks. Now, I wouldn't recommend deleting this column, and I also would not recommend copying this column and pasting it over here. I do recommend that once you do that, is to just hide the column. And now you have a place marker and you don't have any cells that are missing from your data set. So in conclusion, we covered how to look for missing data, how to find that missing data, and how to put place markers in that missing data. But ultimately, remember, before you begin to do anything with your data, check your company policy or with your leaders or your supervisors and ask them, what's the policy on missing data cells? And then you go from there. So I hope that this was fast and straight to the point.